ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Today's discussion we continue with Agni Suktas from sage Vishwamitra, Suktam 10 in Ushnik Chanda. This is comparatively a simple Suktam, as most of the rugs are easy to comprehend and hence do not need much of elaboration. 3.10.1 Tvamagne Manishina. O Agni, men of self-control, kindle you, the sovereign lord of your subjects and resplendent in this non-violent sacrifice, knowledge sacrifice. This is addressed to sacrificial fire, where the sacrifice in general would be physical or spiritual as indicated here. 10.2 Tvam yajneshvarutvijam agne. Tvam yajneshvarutvijam agne. O Agni, sacrificers worship you in sacrifices as an accomplisher of sacrifice like a priest. May you illuminate the guardians of Vrita in their dwellings, in their own dwellings. For accomplishing any action, say a sacrifice, energy is to be spent. In that sense, Agni is the accomplisher of sacrifice of all types. Agni supplies gross energy to the self, residing in the heart space of all living beings for activating the heart. 10.3 Saghayaste dadashati. O Agni, whoever offers you, who is a knower of all being, all born beings, good fuel in the sacrificial fire, he acquires excellent wealth in the form of good knowledge or strength, and he prospers. Here Agni can be taken as external sacrificial fire or internal Agni, soul of energy, without affecting the meaning of the rug. 3.10.4 Sakedhuradharanam Agni. That Agni, who is the leader of sacrifices, being honored with 7 objects, comes to the sacrificer who offers oblations along with enlightened beings in a non-violent sacrifice. Here the 7 objects offered as sacrificial oblations could be the external sensory organs, 5 in number, the subtle body, mind, and ego, the causal body. To a man meditating on Agni, offering these 7 objects as oblations, to him Agni comes and reveals self-knowledge. This could be the implied meaning of the rug. Prahotre purvyam vajo. 10.5 O learned sacrificers, utter lofty and auspicious words as taught by ancient sages. For such a genius, Agni rendered the splendor of knowledge otherwise. Knowledge sacrificers are being exhorted to chant Vedic hymns taught by ancient sages. Carry the splendor of these hymns to Agni, or praise Agni with these hymns. This is the advice of the seer of the Sukta. 10.6 Agnim vardhanduno giro. As our cultured words of Vedic hymns multiply, may our speeches cause to increase that beautiful soul of Agni for abundant food or knowledge and abundant wealth. The rug becomes quite meaningful if Agni is taken as a soul of energy. Information or knowledge about Agni grows as more and more hymns come into being in praise of Agni. 10.7 Agni Yajishthodhare, O most Adorable Agni, please honor the enlightened souls who desire to have shining or spiritual virtues. You are a liberal donor and giver of delight. You shine by driving away people who are opposed to true knowledge. Agni is being requested to bestow self-knowledge to virtuous seekers of truth. No more elaboration may be necessary on this look. 10.8 Sanah Pavakadidihi. O our purifier Agni, please bestow upon us good wealth and admirable strength of knowledge. Please be very close to those people who praise you for their well-being. 10.9 The last stroke in the Sukta. Tam tva vipra vivanyavo. O spiritual Agni, wise persons who are ever alert in acquiring knowledge and are therefore admired by all, kindle that immortal conveyor of knowledge, you who is immortal as is and is enhancer of strength. This will become more meaningful if Agni is taken as in the spiritual sense. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, or energy is eternal. Energy gives strength to all for performing their respective day-to-day activities. In that sense, Agni becomes gross energy in this look. We go to the next Suktam on Agni, Suktam 11 from sage Gathino Vishwamitra. Chandas is Gayatri. In this Sukta also, it should be quite obvious that Agni stands for the soul of energy and not gross energy as such. Definitely, Agni cannot mean fire in general, or sacrificial fire, or any other forms of gross energy. (11.1) Agnir Hoda Purohito. Soul of Agni is a liberal donor and is the illuminator of knowledge sacrifice. He knows sacrifice properly and uninterruptedly. Therefore, the word knows implies or refers to a knowledge sacrifice. Then this look becomes easily explainable and meaningful. 11.2 Sahavyaval Amartya. Spiritual Agni is the bearer of sacrificial offerings, is immortal, is desirous of welfare of all, is the messenger of the self, is the enjoyer of nourishing food. He knows all well with his intellect. The soul of energy is the messenger of self in all human bodies, as I explained before. Food eaten by a person is converted to heat by Jఠra Agni. Agni within the stomach. In this way, the whole truth can be explained easily. 11.3 Agnirthiya Sachedati. That Atmiya Agni is ancient, he is preacher of truth and knows the real meaning of this sacrifice through his good intellect. He takes men across the stream of ignorance and miseries. No comments on this. 3.11.4 Agnim Sunum Sanashrutam Sahaso. Enlightened souls made Agni Atma, who is born of might, is the listener of the eternal Shastras and knower of all born beings, as bearer of sacrificial offerings. Enlightened souls meditate on Agni, the messenger of the self, offering as oblations the gross, subtle and coarse bodies for attaining the self, namely truth. 11.5. Adabhya Purayeda. O Agni, who is quick as a new chariot, becomes the inviolable leader of human beings. Agni's soul of energy leads the man to the Supreme Self. 3.11.6. Sahwan Vishwa Abhiyuja. Agni is always ready to help all, has the power of endurance, is inviolable, is most wise of all enlightened beings, and is the best listener of Shastras. No explanation may be necessary on this also. 3.11.7. Abhiprayamsi Vahasa. When a mortal donor reaches the abode of Agni of purifying radiance, he gets all desirable edibles through that bearer of sacrificial offerings. Here donor means a knowledge sacrificer. Abode of Agni can be taken as the cave of the heart, which is the same as the abode of the self. Parivishwani Sudhita Agne. 11.8. All-knowing wise men with their intelligence and industry obtain all the desired wealth associated with Agni. All the desired wealth could mean self-knowledge also. Taking Agni as the soul of energy, this work becomes easily understandable. Agni Vishwanivaya. 11.9. O Agni, enlightened souls bring you to life and obtain all acceptable good things from you in their struggles against ignorance. Enlightened souls meditate on Agni, the soul of energy, and obtain the desired wealth, namely self-knowledge. This is the last truth in Suktam 11. We go to Suktam 12 now. This is on Indra Agni from sage Vishwamitra in Gayatri Chanda. Indra Agni Agatam Sutam. 3.12.1. O Indra Agni, invoked by these hymns, please come to your acceptable son. Being giver of knowledge, please protect him by your knowledge and wisdom. Sage Vishwamitra is requesting Indra and Agni to treat him as their son for the following reason. Indra is often considered as Jivatma residing in one's body, and Agni stands for energy. Thus the sage owes his birth and existence to these two. May he be protected by them. This is his prayer. 3.12.2. Indra Agni Jaritus Sacha. O Indra Agni, a venerable scholar who knows you well, approaches you along with other praisers. Please protect them and this son with your knowledge and wisdom. Venerable scholar is the seer of the Sukta, who perceives the self through his internal or inward turned eye and the soul of energy Agni. Obviously, the other praisers are his co-sacrificers. They are seeking protection from Jivatma Indra and Agni energy. May they be happy by the offerings of the Soma essence in this sacrifice here. Now we go to 3.12.3. Indramaktim Kavichada. I shall propitiate the givers of strength and the resplendent Indra Agni with energy. May they be happy by the offerings of the Soma essence in this sacrifice here. Sage Vishwamitra is praising Indra and Agni in all sincerity by this hymn. May they be delighted by it, which is a subtle type of extracted essence, a product of the seer's mind. This is the wish of the seer of the Sukta. Soma essence could also be spiritual here. 3.12.4 Tosha Vrutrahana Huve. Tosha Vrutrahana Huve. I praise Indra-Agni, who are propagators of truth, are destroyers of the wicked, are virtuous, are invincible, and are distributors of wealth, or spreaders of knowledge. No more explanation on that necessary. 3.12.5 Pravamarchantyuthino. O Indra-Agni, praisers glorify you with worshipful hymns. May the humble sacrificers and I obtain food and other articles from you. Here, food could also mean knowledge. Food for the mind. 12.6 Indra-Agni Navatim Puro. O Indra-Agni, you shake with one action 90 fortresses of the overlords of wicked persons. Indra and Agni control the activities of all born creatures. Fortress is to be interpreted as the safe and secure abodes or well-protected bodies of living beings. The self and Agni can unsettle even the most well-protected bodies of living creatures. 3.12.7 Indra-Agni Apasaparyupa. Apasasparyupa. 3.12.7 Indra-Agni Apasaparyupa pra. Indra and Agni move on the path of action as per the wisdom of Vruta. Indra and Agni manifest because of ignorance of the self, or they follow the path laid down by the self. The Supreme Self appears to move from one form to another constantly, strictly adhering to laws of nature. Indra-Agni Tvishanivam, Tavishanivam, Indra-Agni Tavishanivam. 12.8 O Indra and Agni, may your common dwelling places sufficient strength and promptness in discharging your duties, bestow food and happiness on all. Common dwelling places can be heart space of human beings. Strength, physical, comes from Agni, and Jivatma Indra, Agni, Jivatma Indra and Agni together make all living creatures capable of collecting their food. 3.12.9 The last trick in this sukta. Indra Agni Rotanadiva. O Indra and Agni, your light and charming acts bring honor to you by securing victory in battles. That is what shows your strength and vigor. The very fact that so many creatures of infinite diverse forms exist in the universe at any given time is a standing testimony to the glory of Indra and Agni. Suktam 13 is the next one, which is on Agni only, and it is by Rishabha Vaishwamitra Chandas Anushtup. Prabhu Devaya Agnaye 3.13.1. O sacrificers, honor that shining Agni who sits in the place of sacrifice. He comes to us with other enlightened beings. May that most praiseworthy Agni be seated in the place of sacrifice. Through this Ruk, though this Ruk may appear to deal with a physical sacrifice or grass sacrifice, it becomes clear from later Ruks in the Sukta that a knowledge sacrifice is being thought of, in which this hymn is the oblation. In other words, Agni is going to be glorified by this hymn. Agni can be adhidevic or adhyatmic. Rutavayasya Rodasi, spiritual Agni, the sustainer of Ruta, whose strength people on the earth admire and glorify. All sacrificers praise him, desiring wealth, and him only for protection. Many ancient sages have glorified Agni, personified energy, as the guardian of eternal laws. All men make use of Agni for diverse purposes. Energy only sustains all activities in the universe. This fact even kids know these days. Sayanta Viprayasham 13.3. He, Agni Atma, is wise and is the controller of all these creatures. He only is the controller of all movement of all celestial bodies. Agni controls the fire and movements of air and water. That being the case, sacrificers are being asked to think about and talk about Atmiya Agni. 13.4. Sana Sharmani Vidaye. May that spiritual Agni bestow upon us other wealth and dwellings for the acquisition of knowledge and happiness. May we obtain from Agni prosperous wealth in the space, on the earth, in the flowing waters, and anywhere else. This Ruk is very clear, except for the fact that here Agni may represent different forms of energy. 13.5. Didivamsam Apurvyam. Praisers Kindalagni, who is shining, is incomparable. He is giver of happiness and is the protector of living creatures with their activities and wisdom. Agni referred to here may mean gross energy of any type, or that is inside the bodies of born beings, or the soul of energy, especially since the Rik talks about intelligence or wisdom. Dhiti bhi. Utano Brahman Navisha. (13.6) O soul of Agni, please be kindly disposed to the outpourings of our hearts and also to the praises of the enlightened persons. Growing with the help of the Maruts, you give thousands of articles. May you lead us towards happiness and peace. First part of the Ruk indicates that this sacrifice is a knowledge sacrifice, or seer of the Sukta is giving an exposition on energy. Growing with wind may need some explanation. Fire in the atmosphere or on the earth is enhanced by wind. This is a widely known fact. Last part of the Ruk is self-explanatory. Bodies of living beings grow with pranas, along with pranas. 3.13.7 Nuno Rasva Sahasravat, O spiritual Agni, indeed grant us wealth which is infinite, is abundant and inexhaustible, comprising noble offsprings, nourishment, full of light of knowledge and vigor. This last Ruk needs no elaboration. We go to Suktam 14 on Agni by Rishabha Vaishwamitra Chandastrushtu. Ahota Mandro Vidathan 14.1. Soul of Agni is a liberal donor, is a delighter, is symbol of truth, is a unifier, and is the most enlightened and wise. He stands for giving knowledge to others. Agni, who has lightning as a chariot and hair-like rays of light, and who is born of strength, manifests his power on the earth. Agni is the whole of energy. He is meant in the Sukta and not gross energy. Agni is one of the 5 basic forms of matter. One form of energy is in lightning in the atmosphere. Fire has hair-like flames. It was produced by man for the first time by converting mechanical energy to heat. In the present day matchsticks also, fire is produced by friction. We go to the next track, 14.2. Ayamite Nama Uktim. O illuminator of Vrita, I offer you this reverential tribute. O mighty one, please accept this which is offered to you, who is a great teacher. O knower of all, please lead other knowledgeable souls here. O unifier, please be seated among the people in your abode in this place of sacrifice. This Ruk is being offered in praise of Agni, who is thought of as a teacher and preacher of true knowledge. Sacrificial or gross fire is stationed in the sacrificial pit and in the stomach of all born creatures, but the soul of Agni is situated in the heart space of all human beings. 3.14.3 Dravadam Da Ushasa Vajayanti Agni. O Atmiya Agni, morning and evening twilights, dawns cause the manifestations of various objects by their light. You go by the path of wind. For that reason, from ancient times, sages honor you by auspicious signs. Like the 2 seats in a chariot, may the 2 dawns stay in their or our house constantly. Morning, dawn, twilight causes the appearance of various objects. Evening, twilight marks the disappearance of objects. Agni is worshipped usually at both times in diverse ways maybe. Worship may be taken to mean made use of. Wind enhances fire, or it drives the fire along with it. Jఠragni also needs oxygen of the air for maintaining it within the bodies of living creatures. Sages glorify Agni by worshipful hymns. The space is the home of the dawns, but they daily appear in human dwellings. 14.4 Mitraschatubhyam Varunas. O mighty Agni, Mitra and Varuna and other enlightened beings honor you, seeking favor from you. O son of mental strength, mental might, you appear before all men like the sun with his luster. You stay shining brightly, and all men worship you for attainment of happiness. Agni provides energy for the activities of all beings, imaginary beings, men, animals, plants, celestial bodies, etc. Hence they are said to seek favor from him, from Agni. 14.5 Vayam te adderarima. O spiritual Agni, with raised hands we offer you salutations and desirable food today. You please honor enlightened souls with harmonious, enlightened mind. A wise man honors you with a faultless mind. Agni honors enlightened souls by giving them true knowledge. Wise men glorify Agni with auspicious hymns. 14.6 Svadhi Putra Sahasovi. O son of spiritual strength, Agni, soul of Agni, may the many eternal protecting powers endowed with knowledge and food come to us. Please give us infinite wealth, along with truthful speech devoid of malice and sin. This is a simple prayer addressed to Agni, the soul of energy, and easy enough to understand. 14.7, the last track. Tubhyam daksha kavikrato. O dexterous soul of Agni, you are endowed with wisdom, shining actions and other attributes. Whatever righteous acts human beings have done in this non-violent sacrifice, you know very well about the whole enlightened dealings. O immortal Agni, please enjoy the taste of the well-cooked food presented by us. Being the motive force behind all actions of human beings, Agni is said to know these actions and the spirit behind these actions. The sage, seer of the Sukta, is hoping that Agni will be delighted to hear this hymn. We go to Suktam 15. This is a good Agni Suktam from Utkila Katya in Trishtup Chanda. Vipajasa Pruthuna Shoshuchano. O soul of Agni, resplendent and pure, with your wide extending strength, you dispel the terrors of the wicked foes because they give trouble to others like diseases. May I come under the shelter of that Agni of good virtues, who is lofty, is enlightened, and is well praised by all. This introductory rep indicates that seer of the Sukta is going to concentrate his mind on Agni possessing the virtues mentioned here. Wicked persons like diseases give trouble to virtuous men. we go to the next step, that 3.15.2. Tvam no asya ushaso. O spiritual Agni, you who are our protector, may awaken us at dawn when the sun rises. May you, who is well born with your body, please accept this hymn of mine and be pleased as a man is constantly pleased with one's own son. May Agni, the soul of energy, prompt the seer of the Sukta and his co-sacrificers to perform knowledge sacrifice at dawn daily. May Agni be pleased with this hymn like a father who is pleased by the salutations of his son. This is the hope of the seer of the Sukta. 3.15.3. Tvam nrijaksha vrishabhanu purvya. 3.15.3. Tvam nrijaksha vrishabhanu purvya. Purvi, O most powerful Agni, you are benevolent and beholder of human beings. You illuminate objects that are covered by darkness or ignorance from ancient times. O provider of dwelling places, lead us please and take us across all sins and miseries. O virtuous Agni, please make us desirers of wealth or knowledge. Agni looks after the interests of human beings by giving physical light. Agni illuminates objects at night. Agni bestows spiritual light on intelligent persons to drive away darkness of ignorance. May Agni instill in the minds of sacrificers the desire for knowledge and ultimately for self-knowledge. Ashalho Agni Vrishabho Vidihi. That 3.15.4. O spiritual Agni, you are invincible and most powerful. You enlighten righteous deeds which are means of prosperity of all people and their homes. O knower of all born beings, you are the protector of the first birth in the womb and leader of the great sacrifice of the Creator. Agni as energy is the cause of prosperity for mankind in two ways. One as Jatharagni within the body and the other external to the body in different forms, heat, light, electricity, etc. Actually, Agni enters the body of a human being before he is born from the womb of the mother. The first birth takes place as an embryo. This is being referred to here. 3.15.5. Akshidra Sharma Jarita. Admirer of good merits, you are very intelligent and shining brightly. Please give us many faultless shelters and enlightened persons. O Agni, please bestow good knowledge on us like a chariot. Which takes its occupant to his destination. You please illuminate the space and earth with your light. Good chariot takes a person to his destination smoothly. So also good knowledge leads him to the final destination of all born creatures, namely birthless Brahman. Nothing more need be said on this rock. Prapipaya Vrishabha Jinva. O giver of shining virtues, Agni, please satisfy us with good food and knowledge, along with brightness and love. O resplendent Agni, along with enlightened beings, you please make the space and the earth fulfillers of our desires. May May not evil designs of any mortal prevail against us. Agni and other enlightened beings or souls make the space and the earth a worthwhile place for human beings to spend their lifetime usefully, seeking the cause or origin of manifestation of the universe. Let not a senseless fellow trouble the seer of the sutta and his co-sacrificers in their pursuit of truth. This is his wish. Last stroke in this sutta is Vilamagne Urudam Samsaningo 3.15.7 is the same as 3.1.23. Here we finish today's discussion. Viramastavat.